morning students. Today we are going to discuss about remaining problems on complex numbers. VSAQ's 10th problem. If argument of Z1 bar, that means conjugate of argument of the conjugate of Z1 and argument of Z2 are pi by 5, pi by 3, then find argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2. First write the given information. Argument of Z1 bar equal to pi by 5 and argument of Z2 equal to pi by 3. What we have to find? Argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2. Argument of Z1. But here given argument of Z1 bar. What is argument of Z1 bar? Which is equal to pi by 5. But we have to get argument of Z1 to find this. So what is argument of Z1? Argument of Z1 is equal to minus pi by 5. Minus pi by 5. Because Z1 and Z1 bar are the mirror images to each other. One is measured in anti-clockwise direction and the other is measured in clockwise direction. So the angle is same but the sign is different. So here argument of Z1 bar equal to pi by 5. So argument of Z1 becomes what? Minus pi by 5. Simply change the sign of the angle. We get argument of Z1 is equal to minus pi by 5. So argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2 becomes what? Pi by 5 minus pi by 5 plus pi by 3. Take LCM. By 3 is a 15. Cross multiply it. Minus 3 pi plus 5 pi. That is equal to 5 pi minus 3 pi gives 2 pi by 15. Now argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2 equal to what? 2 pi by 15. Here we should remember Z1 and Z1 bar are the mirror images to each other. So the arguments of both are only different in sign. Argument is same, the angle is same, but the sign is different. Okay. The next problem is find the locus of Z in the ordained plane if argument of Z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. Solution. What is given here? Find the locus of Z. We have to find the locus of Z. If it satisfies the condition, argument of Z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. What is locus? In your previous classes, you know that locus is a set of all points which satisfies some specified conditions. So we have to find out the locus of Z which satisfies argument of Z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. What is the given condition? Argument of Z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. Let us suppose Z is equal to x plus iy. Let us take it is a complex number. Z is equal to x plus iy be a complex number. Now Z minus 1 gives what? X plus iy minus 1. Okay. That means add real parts together and imaginary parts together. So here we are having x minus 1 as real parts. So it makes x minus 1 makes real part plus imaginary part. Now what is given condition? Argument of Z minus 1 equal to pi by 2. Okay. Z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. Its real part x minus 1 equal to 0. When you get pi by 2, if Z minus 1 is a purely imaginary number. Already I told you in the previous class. If Z is a purely imaginary number, then we get plus pi by 2 or minus pi by 2 depending on the positive imaginary axis or negative imaginary axis. If Z lies on the positive imaginary axis, then the argument of that Z is pi by 2. If z lies on the negative imaginary axis, then the argument of z is equal to minus pi by 2. Here we got pi by 2. Our argument of z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. So z minus 1 must be a purely imaginary number. Z minus 1 is a purely imaginary number. Purely imaginary number. Purely imaginary number means what? Here we are having z minus 1 is equal to x minus 1 plus iy. But it is a real part. It is imaginary part. Z minus 1 is a purely imaginary number means the real part of this z minus 1 must be 0. So x minus 1 equal to 0. Purely imaginary number means what? Real part must be 0. Real part must be 0. Must be 0. Purely imaginary means what? Real part must be 0. Now we got x minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, locus of z is what? Locus of z is x minus 1 equal to 0. This is the required locus of z. X minus 1 is equal to 0. In this manner, we can find the locus of z. Okay. Next problem is, if z is equal to x plus iy and mod z is equal to 1, find the locus of z. You want to find the locus of z, the given condition is mod z is equal to 1. Solution. Write the given information first. Z is equal to x plus iy. Okay. Given condition is mod z equal to 1. What is the formula for modulus of z? Square root of a square plus b square is equal to 1. Here in this z, what is real part? A is equal to x and b is equal to y. Real part is x and imaginary part is y. Now which gives x square plus y square is equal to 1. Squaring on both sides, it gives what? Squaring on both sides. Then you get x square plus y square, because square and root get cancelled. If you square 1 square, that gives square and root get cancelled. X square plus y square is equal to 1. This is the required locus of z. This is the required locus of z. Next problem, if modulus of z minus 3 plus I equal to 4, determine the locus of z. Given information, write the given information first. Modulus of z minus 3 plus I equal to 4. Let us assume z is equal to x plus iy. Here we are taking z is equal to x plus iy. Now, modulus of z minus 3 plus I equal to 4 means, z means what? X plus iy minus 3 plus I, which gives what? Z means x plus iy and minus 3 plus I, which is equal to 4. That implies add real parts together and add imaginary parts together. So x minus 3 plus iy plus I, take I as common, we get y plus 1 is equal to 4. Here x and minus 3 are the real parts, so write together x minus 3 and iy plus I is common in both the terms, so take I as common, remaining is 5 y plus 1, remaining is y plus 1, that is equal to 4. Now what is modulus of x, modulus of z? Actually, if z is equal to a plus ib, what is modulus of z? A square plus b square. Okay, here we are having x minus 3 as real part and y plus 1 as imaginary part. Substituting these values in this formula, you get square root of x minus 3 whole square plus y plus 1 whole square equal to 4. Squaring on both sides, you get x minus 3 whole square plus y plus 1 whole square is equal to 4 square. Understood? In the left side, square and root get cancelled. The right side, 4 square. That is equal to, simplify this one by using a minus b whole square and a plus b whole square. You get x square plus 9 minus 3 to the 6x plus a plus b whole square, y square plus 2y plus 1 is equal to 16. Now on simplifying this, we get x square plus y square minus 6x plus 2y 10 minus 16 gives minus 6 equal to 0. This is the required locus of z. Okay. The next problem is, if x plus iy equal to cis alpha into cis beta, then find the value of x square plus y square. What is given information? X plus iy equal to cis alpha into cis beta. What is cis alpha? Cis alpha means cos alpha plus I sin alpha. Cos alpha plus I sin alpha can be written as cis alpha. Understood carefully. Cis alpha equal to cos alpha plus I sin alpha. Instead of cos alpha plus I sin alpha, you can write cis alpha. So cis alpha can be converted as cos alpha plus I sin alpha. Again, cis beta means cos beta plus I sin beta. Cos beta plus I sin beta. Understood? CIS alpha. CIS alpha. CIS beta. So cos alpha plus I sin alpha can be written as what? Cis alpha, and cos beta plus I sin beta can be written as cis beta. Understood carefully? This can be the De Moivre's theorem formula. You will get in your next chapter clearly. Okay. Cos alpha plus I sin alpha into cos beta plus I sin beta. By multiplying these two complex numbers, you get cos alpha into cos beta gives cos alpha cos beta. Similarly, cos alpha into I sin beta means plus I cos alpha sin beta plus, again, I sin alpha can be multiplied with cos beta. I sin alpha cos beta. I sin alpha into I sin beta gives plus I square sin alpha into sin beta. Now simplifying this, you get cos alpha cos beta. Cos alpha and cos beta write as it is. Here, what is the value of I square? Minus 1. So plus into minus gives minus sin alpha sin beta. Okay, the remaining are the imaginary parts. Both are having I. So take I as common. You get, and I am rearranging the terms also. First I am writing sin alpha cos beta, and then I am writing cos alpha sin beta, which gives, observe carefully, what is this? Cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta. What is the formula for this? Cos of alpha plus beta. What is the formula for this? Cos of alpha plus beta. We know this in your previous class. Cos of alpha plus beta gives cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta. And I of, what is the formula for this? Observe carefully, sin alpha cos beta plus cos alpha sin beta. This is the formula for sin of alpha plus beta. Sin of alpha plus beta. Now we get cos alpha plus beta plus I sin alpha plus beta. Similarly, in the left hand side you have x plus y, iy, x plus iy, x plus iy. Okay, now equate like terms. That means real parts, equate real parts and equate imaginary parts. You get x is equal to what? Cos of alpha plus beta. And y equal to what? Sin of alpha plus beta. Okay, x is equal to real part and y is equal to imaginary part. So compare real and imaginary parts. You get x is equal to cos of alpha plus beta, y is equal to sin of alpha plus beta. Now what you have to find? X square plus y square. So x square plus y square gives what? Cos alpha plus beta whole square. That means cos square alpha plus beta plus sin square alpha plus beta, which gives what? 1. Cos square alpha plus beta plus sin square alpha plus beta equal to 1, because this is the trigonometric identity. We know that trigonometric identity cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. By using this identity, the value of x square plus y square is what? 1. X square plus y square is equal to 1. Hence the problem.
The next problem is find I square plus I power 4 plus I power 6 plus so on 2n plus 1 terms. Write the given expression I square plus I power 4 plus I power 6 plus so on 2n plus 1 terms. That means this expression is having 2n plus 1 terms.
The first term is I square, second term is I power 4, third term is I power 6, so on.
You can write this expression as I square whole power 1. By using law of exponents, I square can be written as I square whole power 1 plus I power 4 as I square whole square plus I square whole cube plus so on. The 2n plus 1th term can be written as I square whole power 2n plus 1. Understood carefully. First term can be written as I square whole power 1. The second term can be written as I square whole square. And that means second term indicates power 2. And third term I square whole cube. Third term indicates power 3. And so on. 2n plus 1th term is I square whole power 2n plus 1. Understood? Now, the value of I square is minus 1 whole power 1 plus, again write minus 1 whole square plus minus 1 whole cube plus so on plus minus 1 whole power 2n plus 1. That means minus 1 whole power 1 equal to minus 1 and minus 1 whole square. Minus 1 whole square means what? Minus 1 into minus 1. Minus into minus becomes plus. So 1 ones are 1. Minus 1 whole square is 1 plus minus 1 whole cube is minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. That means minus minus becomes positive. Another minus retains as it is. So minus 1 whole cube is minus 1. Clearly, you can understand the power of the negative number. If the power of the negative number is odd number, then the negative signs retains as it is. If the power of the negative number is even number, then the negative sign converts as positive. Understood? Now, minus 1 whole power 2n plus 1. What is the 2n plus 1? 2n plus 1 is the odd number. 2n plus 1 is the odd number. So, if power of the negative number is odd, then you get negative value. 2n plus 1 is the general form of odd number. General form of odd number. So, power of the negative number is odd, then you will get negative value. So, minus 1, this value is minus 1, which implies here observe minus 1 and plus 1 get cancelled. Here also minus 1 to get 1, next time I power 4 1, so on. The value you will get is minus 1. To understand this carefully, let us take an example. I have even number of terms. That means I have minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1. Here we are having 4 terms. That means even number of terms. So, minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled. Minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled. The value is 0. If I have odd number of terms, that means 5 terms, I have 5 terms. Minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 plus 1 and minus 1. We are having 5 terms. If minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled, minus 1 plus 1 also get cancelled, the remaining is minus 1. That means if I have odd number of terms, last finally one value will be one value left. One value is left. If you have odd number of terms, then after cancellating the terms, you get finally one value, that is minus 1. Here also we are having 2n plus 1 terms. That means odd number of terms. We are having odd number of terms. So minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled. Last one term is left, that is minus 1.
The next problem is if a plus ib whole square plus is equal to x plus iy, find x square plus y square. What is given? A plus ib whole square equal to x plus iy. Now what we have to find? X square plus y square. To find x square plus y square, we need to find what is x value and what is y value. For this, simplify this one, left hand side. Simplify left hand side by using a plus b whole square. It gives a square plus b square means ib whole square plus 2ab means 2 into a into ib. That is equal to x plus iy. That implies a square plus ib whole square gives I square b square plus I into 2ab. Okay, I am writing I into 2ab. X plus iy is equal to x plus iy, which implies a square plus, what is the I square value? Minus 1 b square plus I into 2ab is equal to x plus iy, which implies that a square plus of minus gives minus b square plus I into 2ab equal to x plus iy. Understood carefully, a square minus b square makes real part and 2ab makes imaginary part. So, comparing real and imaginary parts on both sides. Comparing real and imaginary parts on both sides. So, you get x is equal to, right, comparing real and imaginary parts. Imaginary parts on both sides. On both sides. Okay. You get x is equal to a square minus b square and y is equal to 2ab. X is equal to a square minus b square. Y is equal to 2ab. Now you got x value and y value. Now we have to find out what? X square plus y square. So x square plus y square is equal to, what is x value? A square minus b square. So a square minus b square whole square plus, what is y? 2ab. Y square means 2ab whole square. That is equal to, apply a minus b whole square. This is a square. Assume a square is as a and b square as b. Write the a minus b whole square. So a square whole square plus b square whole square minus 2 into ab means a square, b means b square here, plus 2ab whole square means 4 into a square b square. 2 square gives 4 and a square b square. A square whole square plus b square whole square. 4a square b square minus 2a square b square gives plus 2a square b square. Now observe carefully. This is look like a square b square plus 2ab. A square plus b square plus 2ab. So we can write a square plus b square whole square. It is like a plus b whole square. Here a square is in the place of a and b square in the place of b. So a square plus b square whole square. Therefore x square plus y square equal to a square plus b square whole square. Hence the problem. Next problem. If root 3 plus I whole power 100 equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib, then show that a square plus b square is equal to 4. Okay, what we have to show that a square plus b square is equal to 4. Solution. Write the given information first. Root 3 plus I whole power 100 equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib. Solution. Root 3 plus I whole power 100 equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib. Given this condition. Now what we have to show? A square plus b square is equal to 4. For this, take modulus on both sides. Here we are taking modulus on both sides. So modulus of root 3 plus I whole power 100 equal to modulus of 2 power 99 into a plus ib. We are already discussed some properties on modulus. What are the properties of modulus? We know that modulus of z power n equal to modulus of z whole power n. Modulus of z power n is equal to modulus of z whole power n. Again, constant into z modulus equal to modulus of constant into z is equal to k into modulus of z. By using these two properties, you can find the modulus of these two complex numbers. Okay. Modulus of root 3 plus I whole power 100. Here we are using the property modulus of z power n is equal to mod z whole power n. So you can find modulus for root 3 plus I and then do power 100, which is equal to, take 2 power 99 outside and find the modulus of the complex number a plus ib. Now apply the modulus formula for this complex number. What is modulus of z? Modulus of z is equal to square root of a square plus b square. A is a real part and b is a imaginary part. So here root 3 is real part square and imaginary part What is the imaginary part here? 1. So 1 square whole power 100. That is equal to 2 power 99. Here directly apply the formula a square plus b square. A plus ib. A is the real part and b is the imaginary part. So modulus of a plus ib gives square root of a square plus b square. Now on simplifying this equation you get square root of root 3 whole square gives 3 plus 1 square gives 1 whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into square root of a square plus b square. That is equal to square root of 4 whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 square root of a square plus b square, which implies that square root of 4 gives what? 2. 2 power 100. Square root of 4 gives 2, and which is equal to 2 power 99 into square root of a square plus b square. Now observe, here we are having 2 power 100 and here we are having 2 power 99. So on simplifying you get 2 power 100 minus divided by 2 power 99 is equal to square root of a square plus b square. By using law of exponents, 2 power 100 divided by 2 power 99 gives 2. These are equal, then powers are added. So 100 minus 99 gives what? 1. 2 power 1, which is equal to square root of a square plus b square. Squaring on both sides, you get 2 square equal to square root of a square plus b square whole square. Squaring on both sides. 2 square is equal to square root of a square plus b square whole square. Square and root cancel. You get, that implies a square plus b square is equal to 2 square gives 4. Hence the problem. Next problem. If z is equal to 2 minus 3i, show that z square minus 4z plus 13 equal to 0. Solution. Let us write the given information first. Z is equal to 2 minus 3i. Now you can write transpose 2 to left side. You get z minus 2 equal to minus 3i. Z minus 2 equal to minus 3i. Now squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides. You get z minus 2 whole square equal to minus 3i whole square. That implies apply a minus b whole square formula here. Z square minus 2ab means 2 into az again 2ab. A square minus 2ab plus b square. So plus 2 square, b is 2 square. That is equal to 9i square. Simplify again. Z square minus 4z plus 4 equal to 9 square, 9 into I square means minus 1, which implies that z square minus 4z plus 4 minus 9 minus 9. That is implies that z square minus 4z plus 4 transposing minus 9 to left side we get plus 9, which is equal to 0. That implies z square minus 4z plus 4 and plus 9 gives plus 13 equal to 0. This is z square minus 4z plus 13 is equal to 0. Here we got z square minus 4z plus 13 equal to 0. Hence the problem. Hence the problem. Next problem. If z is equal to ordered weight cos theta comma sin theta, find z minus 1 by z. To find z minus 1 by z, first we have to find 1 by z. 1 by z means what? Multiplicative inverse of z. Let us do solution. What is given z? Z is equal to ordered pair cos theta comma sin theta. It can be written as what? It can be written as cos theta plus I sin theta. It can be written as cos theta plus I sin theta. Cos theta is the real part and sin theta is the imaginary part. So you can write z as cos theta plus I sin theta. Now let's find the multiplicative inverse of z. Multiplicative inverse of z is 1 by z. 1 by z is equal to 1 by cos theta plus I sin theta. In our general form of the complex number, we do not have imaginary part in the denominator. So, you should remove the imaginary part in the denominator. For this, multiply numerator and denominator with conjugate of the denominator. What is the conjugate of cos theta plus I sin theta? Cos theta minus I sin theta. Conjugate of cos theta plus I sin theta is cos theta minus I sin theta. So multiply numerator and denominator with cos theta minus I sin theta. Cos theta minus I sin theta. That is equal to cos theta 1 into this gives cos theta minus I sin theta itself divided by a plus b into a minus b gives a square plus b square. A plus b into a minus b. Sorry, a square minus b square. A plus b into a minus b gives what? A square minus b square. So it's equal to cos theta plus minus I sin theta by cos square theta minus what is the value of I square? Minus 1 sin square theta, which equal to cos theta minus I sin theta by cos square theta minus into minus gives plus sin square theta. Minus into minus gives plus 1 into sin square theta gives sin square theta only. Now observe the denominator cos square theta plus sin square theta. What is the value of cos square theta plus I square theta? 1. So 1 by z is what? 1 by z is equal to cos theta minus I sin theta. Okay, 1 by z is equal to cos theta minus I sin theta. Now z is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta and 1 by z is equal to cos theta minus I sin theta. Z minus 1 by z equal to what? Z minus 1 by z is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta minus of cos theta minus I sin theta. I sin theta, which is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Minus of plus gives minus cos theta. Minus of minus gives plus I sin theta. Now observe this cos theta plus cos theta and minus cos theta get cancelled. The remaining are I sin theta, which gives what? 2I sin theta. Therefore, z minus 1 by z is equal to 2I sin theta. Okay. Next problem, show that the points in the Argand diagram represented by the complex numbers 2 plus 2i, minus 2 minus 2i, minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3i are the vertices of an equilateral triangle. Here, we have to show the complex numbers, the complex numbers form an equilateral triangle. The given 3 complex numbers form an equilateral triangle. That means we have to show that these are the vertices of the equilateral triangle. What is an equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle means all sides are equal. All sides are equal. That means we have to find the sides of the equilateral triangle. How to find the sides of the equilateral triangle? To find the distance between these 2 points, you get AB side, and if you find the distance between BC points, you get BC side, and if you find the distance between A and C, you get AC side. If all the 3 sides are equal in measure, you can say that A, B, C are the vertices of an equilateral triangle. Let us suppose, for this, let us suppose A equal to 2 plus 2i. A equal to 2 plus 2i gives what? Ordered pair 2 comma 2. You can write this complex number as ordered pair 2 comma 2. And B equal to minus 2 minus 2i is minus 2 comma minus 2. And C equal to minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3 can be written as ordered pair minus 2 root, minus 2 root 3 ordered pair minus 2 root 3 comma plus 2 root 3. C equal to minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3i, which gives what? Ordered pair minus 2 root 3 comma 2 root 3. It can be written as minus 2 root 3 comma 2 root 3. So the complex numbers A, B, C are in the form of points. So now it is easy to find the distance between 2 points. What is the distance between any 2 points? You know the distance formula, distance between any 2 points, distance between 2 points x1, y1, comma x2, y2 is square root of x1 square minus, x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. We know that the distance between 2 points x1, y1, comma x2, y2 is square root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. By using this formula, you get the distance between AB and BC and AC. Now, find out the distance between 2 points AB, that is measured as AB, length AB. AB is equal to what? Write the points A, 2 comma 2 here, B, minus 2 comma minus 2, x1, y1 and x2, y2. Now, using this formula, you get x1 minus x2 means what? 2 minus of minus 2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. 2 minus of minus 2. Here also 2 minus of minus 2 whole square, which gives 2 minus plus 2 whole square plus 2 minus of minus, again 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 whole square, which gives, what is 2 plus 2? 4. 4 square gives 16 plus here also 4 square gives 16. That means 16 plus 16 root 32. And similarly, you can find BC. Distance between 2 points B and C is square root of, here write B minus 2 comma minus 2 and C minus 2 root 3 comma 2 root 3. Denote the x1, y1 and x2, y2. Now by using the distance formula, x1 minus x2 whole square, that means minus 2 minus of minus 2 root 3, minus 2 minus 2 root 3 whole square plus here minus 2 minus of 2 root 3 minus 2 minus 2 root 3. Observe carefully. Here x1 is x1 minus x2. x1 minus x2 means minus 2 minus minus 2 root 3. And y1 minus y2 means minus 2 minus 2 root 3 whole square. That is equal to minus 2 plus 2 root 3 whole square plus minus 2 minus 2 root 3 whole square, which gives, apply a minus b whole square, a plus b whole square here. Since minus is common in both sides, on simplifying this, 2 plus 2 root 3 whole square plus take minus common here, minus of 2 plus 2 root 3 whole square. That is equal to, apply a minus b whole square. Square root of 2 square gives 4 and 2 root 3 gives 4 into 3, 12 and minus 2ab, 2 into 2, 4 into 2 root 3, 8 root 3 plus minus square gives positive. So here apply a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square means 2 square gives 4. 2 root 3 whole square gives plus 4 into 3, 12 and plus 2ab. 2a means 2. 2 2s are 4. 4b means 2 root 3. 4 2s are 8, 8 root 3. Now minus 8 3 and plus 8 3 get cancelled. The remaining are square root of, add all the things. 4 plus 12 gives 16. Here 4 plus 12 gives 16. 16 plus 16, 32. AB is equal to root 32 and BC equal to root 32. BC equal to root 32. Now CA equal to square root of, here what is point C? C equal to minus 2 root 3 comma 2 root 3 and A equal to 2 comma 2. Denote x1 y1 value and x2 y2. Now what is the distance formula? x1 minus x2 whole square, square root of x1 minus x2 whole square, square root of x1 minus x2. x1 means minus 2 root 3 minus 2, x2 is 2, so minus 2 whole square plus, here y1 minus y2, y1 is 2 root 3 minus y2 is 2, so 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square. It can be written as, take minus as common here, 2 root 3 plus 2 whole square. We should write whole square for minus also, plus 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square, which is equal to square root of, minus square gives positive. So 2, now apply a plus b whole square for this only. A plus b whole square means a square means 4 in root 2 root 3 whole square. 2 root 3 whole square means 4 into 3, 12. 4 into 3, 12 plus b square, 2 square, 4 plus 2ab, 2ab, 2 into 2 root 3, 4 root 3 into 2, 8 root 3 plus apply a minus b whole square. A square means 2 root 3 whole square, so 4 into 3, 12. B square means 2 square plus 4 minus 2ab means 2 into 2 root 3, 4 root 3, 4 root 3 into 2, 8 root 3. Now plus root 3 and minus root 3 cancel. The remaining are 12 plus 4, 16. 16 here also 16, you get 16 plus 16, 32. Now observe, what is AB? The distance between AB is root 32 and BC is root 32 and CA is root 32. That means the distance, that means all sides are equal for equilateral triangle. So ABC forms equilateral triangle. That means we can say that the given complex numbers form equilateral triangle. So we can say that what? So the given complex numbers are the vertices of the equilateral triangle. The given complex numbers are are vertices of equilateral triangle. Hence proved.